We now know the future of EVE Vanguard in 2024, and the future's looking pretty bright. New maps, new guns, let's break it all down for you in this video. So if you want the best EVE Vanguard and EVE Online guides, you came to the right place. Ladies and gentlemen, Loru here, digital advertiser, content creator, and EVE Vanguard enjoyer for the better part of 10, going on 11 years now. And this roadmap has been released for EVE Vanguard for some time now. We're going to go into that, but in addition to this, there was also a roadmap put out by the EVE devs in the recent director's letter, showing that we have a massive playtest amount coming out in Q3 of this year, and more coming out in Q4. Now, this is all real exciting. Let me break down for you what you can expect in the next couple months. Now, as of this recording, there is going to be a minor playtest in February. Let me move out of the way here so y'all can see what's coming. It's just some bug fixes and some balancing, as well as some tiered rewards, EVE shipskins, and Plex. Now, we plan on streaming this next playtest, so if you want to be able to squad up with some friends and get some kills, come on down. The big changes are coming in March. That is the worst arrow I've ever seen. I need to take an art class or something. We're going to be getting a mining prototype system. Now, I assume this is going to be some kind of mining laser that we can use. Other games like this, like Dark and Darker, have a mining system, a way to gather resources on planet. I have no idea what this is going to be, but what I would like to see is either you have some kind of mining laser that you're using as like a multi-tool, kind of like a No Man's Sky style, or that you could call it like a mini orbital strike on a spot and gather resources from the ship in orbit. I think that kind of thing would be more in style with EVE Online and kind of fit the whole lore of things. We already have something similar to that with PI, with planetary interaction, where you call down literal factories to a planet and start taking all the resources of that planet. Sub for those guides, by the way. We're going to be getting even more contracts. These are quests that you can complete when you're on planet. And a big one is the suppression generation. I know my arrows are bad. Let me live my life. Suppression is going to help the Empire when it comes to faction warfare. Previously, we've only been able to help the corruption, which helps the pirates. So now you can fight as a pirate on planet or for the Empire. Choose wisely. Now, March is going to be a big minor feature update. And the both good and bad part is the next big update is actually going to be in June. You can see in April and May, there really isn't a lot being done, just more bug fixes, more balancing. Now, we plan on streaming and playing during those months to make sure y'all can get a nice crack at the game. We can experience stuff and see how it evolves. But we're going to really be playing it in March and June during the major features. So look for bigger, longer streams of Vanguard during those times. Now, in June, something y'all have been asking for a long time. It's a new map, baby! Finally! Yeah. This is going to be a big deal, y'all. Instead of just fighting inside of that same bowhead, we get to go to a different planet with a different bowhead, probably. Jokes aside, I'm really intrigued as to where they're going to go with these maps. We had a lot of really awesome ideas when we were streaming this game. For example, are some of the maps going to be in space? Maybe inside of a derelict Titan or something like that? There's infinite possibilities that they can go with this. And I'm really excited to see what the new map is going to be. Next, we're getting some weapon modification. I assume this is going to be like your loadouts in Call of Duty, where you can bring in certain kinds of weapons, certain kinds of ammo. And y'all, that means we have to get new kinds of weapons, right? We can't just keep using the same assault rifle over and over again if we're going to have to bring in actual, like, kits. We'll see how that's implemented. I'm not sure yet. Session, persistence, and fitting. To me, that kind of proves what I was just talking about, meaning that we're going to have weapons that are unlockable, ammos that are unlockable, call it like a stash inside of Tarkov. And even if CCP hasn't confirmed this, I would assume that everything you get is going to get wiped. But what I think this is saying is that for this June playtest, you're going to be able to unlock weapons and ammo, various things, potentially even have some merchants that we can buy from and get some cool stuff and bring it into the next match. In this way, you're not bringing in the same weapon, the same 2 clips. We're also going to be getting additional activities and objectives. Now, the difference between this and the additional contracts in March, when we playtested Vanguard, we've seen a bunch of stuff on the map, let's say. Here's where you could buy your clone. Here's a loot site. I'm hoping that's what this means. We're going to get more versions of that. Different points of interest on the map that we can go explore and check out. And then, of course, we got the bug fixes and some bouncing updates, all that good stuff, with a typical reward system with the Plex and skins, etc., etc. Now, this is all well and good, but you'll notice it stops in June. We got nothing else. That's where the director's letter comes in, ladies and gentlemen. Now, you see that the roadmap we just were looking at ends right about here. This picture in Q3 is larger than any other picture except for this Havoc update. So I'm assuming that means in Q3 we're going to get a massive Vanguard update and playtests. Now, I could be wrong. It might just be that we're doing the same old playtests, and I want CCP to take their time, just to be clear. But because there's nothing really else happening in EVE Online inside of Q3, the Alliance tournament is there, yes, but that's not necessarily dev resources that are being used. It's more casting personalities like myself. No, that's not a confirmation, although CCP Games hit me up. I'd love to talk about stuff. I do have experience casting tournaments after all. What what I think is going to happen is we're going to get even bigger playtests for Vanguard inside of Q3 with even more things coming out. Now that's just a theory. You already know the rest. Y'all, as more Vanguard stuff comes out, we're going to be putting it in this playlist right here. So make sure if you want to get all the best Vanguard guides, you bookmark that playlist. We have a bunch of guides in there already to try to get you started and get you going so you can play the game. If you want more EVE Online guides, make sure you sub for that right here. Thanks a bunch, everybody. We'll see you on Planet and in the next video.